Good morning. This is Francis Schaefer, Precision Soil Management, Redfield. I'd like to show you some test results we had from a biological agent that we had a customer request to use on soybeans. So the customer sprayed this carbon cycle, which is um, also known as trash breaker from Planet Earth Agronomy, and we buy our wholesalers Midwest Biologics, and we are going to promote it as Carbon Cycle or the new formulation. It'll be Carbon Cycle 2 or something. I don't know. So what we had the customer do was spray and record areas in several soybean fields this spring. And this is one of the fields that they did. So this is where the carbon cycle was sprayed. It was a standalone pass. It was an experiment. We recorded it. Then once we got the data, the harvest data back, I had to figure out how I was going to record, analyze the data. So I didn't want to compare where the carbon cycle was sprayed to the entire remaining part of the field. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. I think it's smarter to box off the areas just either side of this strip, avoid the end rows and other anomalies within the field if there are, so that you can get kind of clean information on the test area compared to the control area. So this is what I came up with. The carbon cycle is here. The legend calls that area 1. Area 2 is on either side of area 1, no carbon cycle. Down here, area 3 is carbon cycle. Area 4 is non-carbon cycle. Now, the reason I separated this area from this area is because I know historically this part of the field is less productive. So I didn't want to cross too much history of management practices in this field. I wanted to compare each carbon cycle pass directly to those next to it. The other thing, this farmer uses management zones, soil management zones, to apply fertilizer types and rates, apply seed, variable rating soybean seed as he plants. Um, so, that being said, not only did we break it down to where the carbon cycle was sprayed, we broke it down by management zone. And that map overlaid looks like this. So okay, cancel. Okay, zone 19, that's this thing down here. Zone 1 are these areas in here. Zone 2 are these lighter colored ones here. Zone 3 are these ridges, knobs, whatever you want to call them, less topsoil, less organic matter. Zone 6, depressional, right here and right here. So then, since SMS has given us such good analysis tools, I created in Analysis Wizard, because I have SMS Advanced, to analyze the harvest data by looking through and comparing both the management zone type, which would be 1, 2, 3, 6, or 19, against the carbon cycle. That would be the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is what we came up with. Now, if you remember zone ID, these are the carbon cycle areas. 1, carbon cycle. 3, carbon cycle. 2, non-carbon cycle either side of 1. So we have a zone 6 in each of those. The zone 6 in the carbon cycle was 65.2. In the non-carbon cycle was 58.5. The zone 1 in the carbon cycle was 60.3. In the non-carbon cycle was 53.1. Zone 2 in the carbon cycle was 48.8. In the non-carbon cycle was 51.4. Zone 3 in the carbon cycle was 47.4, and in the non-carbon cycle was 44.7. And that was the further north test of carbon cycle. Now the southern one, where I know the history is not as of the field is not as productive, the carbon cycle in zone 1 was 51.9, and in the non-carbon cycle was 49.2. Zone 2 in the carbon cycle was 48.7, and in the non-carbon cycle was 41.9. Zone 3 was 48.1 in the carbon cycle, was 42.6 in the non-carbon cycle. And zone 6 was 44.8 carbon cycle and 45.7 in the non-carbon cycle. Now, if we look at the aggregates, carbon cycle on 1 was 54.73. Zone 2 or area 2 was 51.4, and that's on either side of zone 1. Zone area carbon cycle 3 was 48.6, and area 4 was 44.5. So the carbon cycle increased. Well, it's the one thing that we tested out there. From this analysis, it gave us a couple, 2, 3 more bushels in the carbon cycle areas than in the non-carbon cycle areas. This is Francis Schaefer, Precision Soil. Thanks for listening.